In this video, we're going to look at metric system conversions, particularly shifting from centimeters to meters and meters to centimeters. I'm going to draw a T-chart here. This is the information that you always need to keep in mind as we're doing this. In meters, 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So if we think about it this way, if we were to look at centimeters, well, 1 centimeter is only 1/100th of a meter because there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So I'm also going to write down that 1 centimeter and hundredths, we can see over here, would be 0.01. So 1 centimeter is 0.01 meters. Using this understanding, we can be able to convert anything as long as we keep in mind that there are always 100 times as many centimeters in 1 meter because they're so small. So if I was to ask you a question like 3 meters equals how many centimeters, I can use my understanding that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So if I have 3 meters, notice when I'm going from meters to centimeters, my centimeters are always 100 times larger. So 3 meters would be like 300 centimeters. Where it gets a little trickier is if I ask a question like 115 centimeters is equal to how many meters? This is a little trickier, but the first thing you need to do is think about common sense here. If we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, we know that 2 meters is 200 centimeters. You have to make sure your answer is logical here. 115 centimeters is going to be more than 1 meter. But not that much more. When we go from now the other way, centimeters to meters, I'm going to show you 2 different strategies to do this type of problem as you think through it. Let me just erase this. Knowing that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, when we go from centimeters to meters, it's like we're getting 100 times smaller, or dividing by 100. So if I'm dividing by 100, I can do 115 divided by 100, which is like shifting 2 times on the place value chart. That's going to equal 1.15. And logically, that makes sense because we know it's more than 1 meter, but less than 2, because 200 centimeters is 2 meters. So the other way to do that is if you see the second part of the table that I wrote down, 1 centimeter is 0.01 meters or 1/100th of a meter. If I have 115 of those, I can think about this as multiplication. I need to take 1 times 115, or 1 centimeter 115 times. And on this side, I would think, okay, well, if each one of those is 1/100th, then I'm going to have 115 hundredths, because each centimeter is 100th of a meter. So I can represent that as 1.15 when I stretch it out, because it's a bit too crowded. The same process applies. When you go from centimeters to meters, it's like you're dividing by 100, or each centimeter is 100th of a meter. When you go from meters to centimeters, it's like you're multiplying by 100, because there are 100 centimeters in each meter.